Hello there. Some contrasting weather conditions across Europe at the moment, all due to this area of high pressure that's centred across parts of Scandinavia. It's bringing temperatures a good 7 to 10 degrees above the average for the time of year, but pretty unsettled still through the Mediterranean. We've got amber weather warnings out across the Balkans for some of the intensity of these showers that we're expecting through the second half of the weekend. Some showers through Turkey, not looking too bad through the Greek Isles and on the whole mainland Greece. Then we've got those sharper showers through Turkey, risk of some showers through Italy, southern France, across the Pyrenees and into Spain as well. So there will be some lengthy spells of sunshine as well. We've got some warmth pushing across France, the UK, up into Germany, the Low Countries, and as I say, into Scandinavia, Estonia and Lithuania as well. Now, it looks likely that those temperatures are going to continue to stay on the high side for this time of year, and it still stays pretty stormy across parts of the Mediterranean. Let's take a look at the city forecast in a little more detail then, shall we? It looks likely that we'll continue to see some beautiful sunshine and warmth through London and Paris. Rome, still the risk of some sharp thundery downpours through the middle part of the week. Oslo will keep that warmth going, temperatures into the low 30s, the same too for Tallinn in Estonia, largely fine and dry elsewhere. Hello there. Poor air quality across the east of North America has been dominating the weather story in recent days. There are signs that we could start to see a change in the weather which could help improve with that. This area of low pressure, as it moves across the northern plains and in towards the Great Lakes, will gradually bring some wetter weather, and that will help to improve the air quality as it gets cooler and hopefully wash some of the particles out of the atmosphere. Ahead of it, we could see some fairly extensive outbreaks of rain as well as far south as Atlanta, Georgia. Across that west coast, it's a slightly different story. It's quieter across British Columbia with some sunshine and not looking too bad across Northern California. Scattering of showers further inland, and we've got some nuisance cloud which will just linger along west-facing coast just south of San Francisco. That could produce a little bit of drizzle from time to time for Los Angeles, quite unusual. Vancouver, though, enjoying that sunshine and temperatures into the mid-20s. Now, as for the east coast, on Sunday, it is still going to be a dry, sunny day, so poor air quality expected here. But you can see the rain waiting out in the wings and the brighter yellows and greens, the intensity of that rainfall. So from Tennessee down into Georgia, we could see some very heavy rain, and some of the effects of the smoke have gone as far south as Florida. So an improving weather story as we expect those sharp showers to continue. Hello there. There's a weather front that's moving its way towards southern Brazil, and it's introducing a dramatic change to the feel of the weather. So we're going to see some wet weather out of Uruguay, gradually pushing its way into Paraguay. We've seen some extreme heat into Argentina just recently, but this is the dividing line between that very warm air to the north of that and the cooler air to the south. So 31 degrees in Rio de Janeiro, only 11 degrees in Buenos Aires. At the same time, we've got some heavy rain across Venezuela and into parts of Colombia. We're looking at some wetter weather into parts of northern Bolivia and Peru, stretching down into Paraguay and Uruguay over the next few days. South of that, it's quieter, but it is noticeably cooler. And it looks as though that divide is set to continue over the next few days. You can see in Buenos Aires, 11 to 14 degrees as a high. There will be some sharp showers pushing into Rio de Janeiro. Now for Mexico, it's a largely fine and quiet story. Any showers will be fairly isolated. Showers become a little bit more frequent, a little bit more widespread down into Costa Rica and Panama. More widespread showers across the Caribbean over the next few days. These will clear away. We're still seeing temperatures into the low 30s. So it looks likely it's going to stay unsettled as we go through our week ahead. And you can see this quite clearly. Perhaps the best of the drier, sunnier weather remains in Mexico City. Hello there. Let's take a look at the weather story then across Africa at the moment. Plenty to talk about as well. Starting off with the weather front that's moving towards South Africa, and that will bring a dramatic drop in temperature. We've seen some extreme heat in recent days across South Africa, southern Mozambique, but that front will change things. We've got some wetter weather across West Africa through the Gulf of Guinea, and we've got some showers across parts of Algeria, Morocco, all drifting their way east, and we've got some strong winds that could produce some lifted dust through the Sahara Sahara as well over the next few days. Still the extreme heat across Egypt too, but there are signs that that is going to start to ease as well. So you can see the weather story in Cape Town turning decidedly cooler and unsettled through the week ahead. Dry, settled and sunny elsewhere, but we've still got those temperatures into the mid-30s for Cairo, but perhaps not quite as extreme as it has been. Let's take a look though at the story across the Middle East. Few showers through Turkey, stretching towards the Caucasus. We've also seen some pretty intense showers through western Iran as well. Strong winds down through the Gulf states. So here we could see some poor visibility with the risk of some lifted dust. And obviously we've got that storm system through the Arabian Sea, which we're keeping a close eye on. So here's the city forecast for the next few days. Plenty of sunshine and warmth to look out for. Hello there. Plenty to talk about in South Asia at the moment. The monsoon rains are now pushing in from the south. They were delayed, but they're starting to move in across southern Asia along that Kerala coastline. At the same time, we've got this storm. This is Biparjoy. Now, it's pretty slow moving across the Arabian Sea at the moment, expected to push close to landfall in the next 5 days. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Ahead of the rain, we've got severe heat warnings, particularly across southern and eastern parts of India, as you'd expect at this time of year. Now, across much of Central Asia, it's largely fine and quite a few scattered showers, as you can see. But those temperatures into the high 20s across Kazakhstan, high 30s perhaps close towards Afghanistan. Pakistan a little bit cooler and quieter, but you can see that storm potentially in the next 5 days making landfall somewhere around Gujarat and Pakistan. There's the monsoon rain starting to push in across that Kerala coastline, and then ahead of it we've got that heat. A few scattered showers across parts of Bangladesh, but the heaviest of the rain here is certainly across Myanmar. So this is the story then over the next few days. No surprises to see. There's going to be plenty of showers or longer spells of rain as to be expected. It looks likely though that we will see a good deal of dry weather and heat still continuing in New Delhi. Hello there. A look at what's happening with the weather in Australia and New Zealand coming up very shortly. But first of all, let's start off in Asia. You can see on the satellite picture Typhoon Gochal. It is expected to weaken as it drifts its way north, but it is going to bring some heavy rainfall towards southern and eastern areas of Japan. And at the same time, we've got this wriggling weather front that's got to clear away east over the next couple of days. Here you can see the setup that's developing through the latter stages of Sunday. Fine and dry across much of China, some heavy rain across southern China at the moment. We've got those monsoon rains across Myanmar and into northern Thailand, so some very heavy rainfall expected here. A little bit quieter further south. So the city forecast show it's going to stay pretty unsettled into Tokyo as we go through the next few days, with temperatures though still into the high 20s. For Australia, it's a little quieter. We have got a weather front that's moved out of Western Australia, so improving picture here. It's moving across the Bight. Eventually it'll bring some rain towards Adelaide and generally through the southeast of Australia. Ahead of it, it's quite breezy, but it's a warm wind, temperatures into the high teens. Largely fine and quiet through New Zealand as well over the next couple of days. A few scattered showers, but nothing too severe. So in terms of the city forecast, then you can see that rain pushing through to Adelaide, improving from Friday. It stays pleasant in Auckland until next weekend.